Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to give you that shortcut to really understanding complex topics fast. And today we're tackling something almost every business bumps up against eventually. Big, significant changes. Especially digital transformation. I mean, even updating your phone can feel like a chore, right?
Oh, definitely.
So imagine overhauling a whole company's digital systems. It's huge.
Yeah.
For beverage distributors, this is, well, it's a constant reality. And we're looking today at how one company, BDC, helps them navigate this, helps them make that climb manageable.
Yeah, our mission here is to really distill the core strategy behind making these big digital shifts work. We'll look at how BDC balances the people, the processes, and the technology, how they turn potential chaos into something strategic and manageable. Think of this as your quick guide to an integrated approach.
And the sources we're drawing on today, they give a really clear framework for this. It's about digital strategy, yes, but also the practical side, the implementation. Now, the focus is specific beverage distribution, but honestly, the principles BDC uses, they apply pretty much anywhere.
Anyone facing a big change, retail, manufacturing, whatever, will likely pick up something useful here.
Okay, so let's dive in. What makes digital transformation so difficult for these distributors? Or really for any company going through this? Our sources point to some common roadblocks. First up, often there's no dedicated internal leader for this stuff. For the IT strategy, the big picture project management.
Right, like a CIO or a dedicated program manager.
Exactly. And without that, it's like trying to find your way in the fog. You're trying to map out a strategy and juggle multiple projects at once. It's tough.
Very tough.
Then there's the whole ERP, that's enterprise resource planning and automation system migration.
Yeah.
Getting that right is critical. You absolutely have to keep the business running smoothly, especially when you've got existing systems that need to keep talking to each other.
And that leads straight to the next hurdle.
Yeah.
Seamless integration.
Yes. You can't just plug in new tech and hope for the best.
Yeah.
It needs to connect properly with everything else. Otherwise, you get situations, where someone's manually entering data between systems because they don't link up.
Which is a huge waste of time and invites errors. That duplication of work is exactly what BDC aims to eliminate.
And finally, there's often intense pressure from deadlines, maybe from big partners or just shifts in the market you have to react to quickly.
And these gaps you mentioned, the leadership gap, the integration issues, they're critical because they cause so much misalignment internally. Different departments might end up pulling in opposite directions if there isn't that clear strategy and oversight.
Makes sense.
And that seriously gets in the way of moving to new systems smoothly. Why does it matter? Well, at the end of the day, it's about preventing major disruption. You need the business to keep functioning effectively while all this change is happening.
So faced with all that complexity, how do you even start without, completely derailing the business? And that's where BDC's core philosophy comes in. It's not just about the tech.
Not at all.
It's much more holistic. They focus on optimizing people, processes, and technology together. Like a three-legged stool, all parts need to be strong and balanced.
Yeah, their key insight really is that a change in one area always impacts the others. You tweak the process, it affects the people and maybe the tech needed. You bring in new tech, people need to adapt. Processes might need rethinking.
Right.
So you need this really thoughtful approach to managing the change itself. And what's interesting is that BDC actively works on getting that organizational alignment. They focus on change management to make the experience better for both customers and employees during the transformation.
That's fascinating because you hear digital transformation and your mind jumps straight to software, servers.
Right, the technology.
But how often do companies overlook that people piece? What does that even look like when it goes wrong?
Well, our sources suggest it's often more than just, say, bad training. It could be much deeper. Think about failing to get buy-in from employees or not addressing their anxieties about the changes. That can lead to resistance, people finding workarounds, sometimes even creating their own little shadow IT systems because the official new one is too hard or they weren't consulted.
Wow. Yeah.
Or, worst case, people just leave. High turnover. And all of that undermines the very efficiency gains the new tech was supposed to deliver.
So BDC steps in to manage that human element from the start.
Exactly. They make sure it's part of the plan, not an afterthought.
Okay, let's unpack BDC's structured solution then. You mentioned their phased approach. How does that work? They have this comprehensive model offering strategy, technical know-how, tools, and they always recommend doing it in phases.
Great.
Phase I is all about digital strategy and road mapping. This is the foundational work, loss of discovery, understanding the current state, then designing that roadmap for the whole transformation. It involves planning the coordinated shifts to new systems, ERP, manufacturing systems, maybe warehouse automation. And a big part is getting everyone on the same page. Vendors, internal stakeholders about the transition plan, the requirements, data conversion, how it's all going to be implemented.
And the outputs from Phase I are pretty substantial. You get project management structure set up, the strategic roadmap itself, the capabilities analysis.
So what's that exactly, the capabilities analysis?
It's basically looking at what the business does well now and what skills or processes it needs to develop or acquire for the future state.
Got it.
Phase I also delivers business continuity plans crucial for minimizing disruption and application mapping. Think of application mapping like creating a detailed diagram of all your current software and how data flows between them. It's like a map of your digital infrastructure.
Okay.
And, very importantly, this phase ends with getting formal alignment and sign-off from all the key stakeholders. Everyone agrees on the plan before moving to Phase 2. This planning is the bedrock. It prevents costly mistakes later on.
Yeah.
You don't want to invest millions only to find out the tech doesn't fit or your data is a mess after you've started.
Makes total sense. So once that foundation is solid, what's Phase 2? Phase 2 is project and initiative planning. This is where they flesh out the details. Developing detailed project plans, creating assets, all aligned with that roadmap from Phase 1, and working closely with vendors and stakeholders.
Right. And the assets created here are vital for execution. You get a master consolidated project plan, the big blueprint. Plus, detailed plans for managing stakeholders and communication. This includes building out a RightCI matrix.
RightCI.
Yeah, it stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, informed. It clarifies exactly who does what for every task in the project. Really helps avoid confusion. Okay.
Useful.
They also set up project registers. Basically, logs for tracking risks, keeping tabs on all stakeholders, and standardizing reporting. This level of detail really shows a commitment to organized, meticulous execution. It minimizes surprises.
And then comes Phase 3. Phase 3 is project management and implementation advisory services. This sounds like the real hands-on part. BDC provides the day-to-day, week-to-week project management, keeping an eye on timelines, budgets, the scope of the project, both internal and external coordination.
Exactly. This is where the plan gets put into action, and BDC is there steering the ship. And the whole point of this phased approach from start to finish is to let the distributor focus on running their business day to day. BDC acts as the expert guide, managing the complexity of the transformation, minimizing disruption, and maximizing the chances it all goes smoothly.
Okay, let's make this even more concrete. Our sources have some specific examples, right?
They do.
Here's where it gets really interesting. There was one distributor getting ready for a massive transformation. We're talking new digital strategy, new roadmap, migrating to new systems for accounting, warehouse, production, ERP, the works.
Big project.
Huge. But their challenge was internal. They didn't have that dedicated leadership, no CIO, no senior project managers to really define the strategy and manage all these moving parts.
So in that case, BDC came in essentially as that strategic partner. They provided the missing leadership and project management. They defined the ERP migration strategy, focusing on business continuity. They handled the organizational change management planning, the people side we talked about.
Right.
And they provided the actual project and program management to coordinate migrating from several different systems at once, ensuring things integrated properly, managing vendors, keeping everything on that critical timeline. It really shows how external expertise can fill crucial internal gaps on these complex projects.
That's a great illustration. And there was another example too, right? A distributor needing help just getting ready for transformation.
Yes, focus more on the readiness aspect.
Yeah.
BDC used their project implementation playbook, which provides a really structured path.
So what did that involve? Walk us through those steps.
Sure. It started with a current state analysis. That means setting a project governance, the rules of the road for the project, and deeply understanding their existing as-fist business processes.
Okay, mapping out how things work now.
Exactly. Then they did detailed business process definition and data scoping, documenting how data moves, which applications are used for what within the current setup. That led into defining the future business processes and doing an initial solution fit gap analysis. Basically, seeing how well a potential new system meets their needs and identifying where the gaps are.
Finding the mismatches.
Precisely. Followed by a more detailed gap analysis and then scoping out the required capabilities of the new solution and how it would integrate. And finally, they started creating a value stream map.
Value stream map.
Yeah, it's a visual tool. It maps out every single step involved in delivering a product or service to the customer. It helps you see clearly where there are bottlenecks, waste, or opportunities for improvement in the current flow.
Ah, okay.
So this whole readiness process, focusing on business continuity, understanding system capabilities, and being data-driven, it ensures they don't just leap into new tech blindly. They go in prepared, with clear processes defined.
It sounds like BDC's approach isn't just about the big implementation project itself, then. It's about setting distributors up for the long haul, for sustained agility.
Absolutely. It goes beyond the initial go-live. BDC offers ongoing support, things like consulting for continuous system and process improvements, ongoing project management for new initiatives that come up, even help desk support, and general IT guidance.
So it's not just install and leave.
Not at all. This allows the distributors to keep evolving, to push what their technology could do, and stay agile. They need that agility to adapt quickly to market shifts, industry changes, new consumer demands. It connects directly to maintaining a long-term strategic advantage. The transformation isn't just a project, it's the start of a continuous improvement journey.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on BDC's approach, what are the key takeaways for our listeners? For me, it's definitely the importance of the holistic view, people, processes, and technology. You can't just focus on one.
Absolutely, that integration is crucial.
And the second big thing is the value of that structured, phased approach, breaking down something massive and complex into manageable stages.
Yeah, that structured methodology is key. And while we focused on beverage distribution today, these principles really are universal, aren't they? Addressing leadership gaps, planning comprehensively, managing the project meticulously, providing ongoing support. That applies to any business facing major change, digital or otherwise. It's about being proactive with transformation, not just reacting when things break.
So here's a thought to leave you with. Thinking about what we've discussed today, where might you see potential leadership gaps in projects you're involved with? Or perhaps areas where a more structured, phased approach could really help, even if it's not a full-blown digital transformation. What part of your own processes might benefit from looking at it strategically through that lens of people, process, and technology together? Something to think about. Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep digging deep.